The agricultural supply corporations are laughing behind your back. They pocket millions of dollars every single spring by tricking you into buying those expensive rolls of black plastic mulch to warm up the soil. They tell you that it is the only scientific solution to wake up your garden after a long, endless winter. But what is the actual truth? Those damn plastic sheets do not warm up your garden at all. They are actually cooking and suffocating the respiratory system of every living entity beneath the ground. Welcome back to Grandpa Sasa's Sub-Zero. Today I am going to tear off the mask of this fraudulent gardening industry once and for all. I will show you a lost secret from the dense, ancient forests. A way to create a thermal blanket from the very garbage thrown away in the corner of your kitchen and your backyard. A method that helps the soil generate its own heat from deep within, waking up millions of earthworms that are fast asleep and helping you plant your seeds a whole month earlier than your neighbor without spending a single penny on plastic tarps. Do you think that when the last patches of snow on the yard melt away, spring has truly knocked on the door? How naive. The surface of the soil might look wet and completely clear of snow, but try thrusting your bare fingers deep into that dirt and see for yourself. Deep beneath that slushy mud, an icy dungeon is still silently operating. The roots and the magnificent network of microorganisms are still trapped in a state of clinical death. The temperature of the soil is still low enough to paralyze and rot any fragile seed freshly sown into it. And this is exactly when 99% of amateur gardeners make a fatal mistake. They are impatient to see the lush green color return to their yards. They grab their heavy iron rakes, sweep away every single dry leaf and autumn remnant on the surface, shaving the garden completely bald until only the cruel, cold brown dirt is exposed. And then, ironically enough, they obediently listen to the fake experts on television and gardening magazines, stretching giant industrial black plastic tarps completely over the top, hoping to absorb the sunlight. Stop that self-destructive act right now, my friends. Do you know what the true biological disaster mechanism of that black plastic actually is? It absolutely does not warm the soil in a natural or healthy way. It creates a highly toxic anaerobic greenhouse effect during the day. When the sun comes out, the black plastic absorbs the heat and brutally boils the soil's surface, evaporating the little remaining moisture and making the ground crack and bake. But the worst part happens at night, when the temperature suddenly drops with every cold gust of wind. That lifeless plastic sheet becomes freezing cold and has absolutely zero heat retention capability. This insane continuous day and night temperature fluctuation is a literal torture to the fragile soil structure. However, the most important and deadly thing is the suffocation. The plastic layer has unintentionally sealed off all natural gas exchange pores, blocking the vital oxygen from entering the earth. In that dark and oxygen-deprived environment, toxic anaerobic gases begin to multiply vigorously, and they emit a foul, putrid stench and silently kill off all the beneficial aerobic bacteria, suffocating even the earthworms that just sluggishly surfaced from their deep winter hibernation. Your soil after just a few weeks under that shiny black tarp will turn into a sterile graveyard, mushy, lifeless, and full of deadly pathogens. The true art of gardening is not about imposing deadly industrial plastic items onto Mother Nature. The soil is also a complex living organism. It has a heartbeat, it has a breath, and it desperately needs to breathe the fresh spring air just like your own lungs do. Just try looking at the primeval old-growth forests. For millions of years, they have naturally awakened brilliantly after the harshest winters, filled with ice and thick snow. And did they ever need a single piece of plastic from a fertilizer factory to stretch out and sprout new leaves? The answer is definitely no. They have a perfect self-heating mechanism that those greedy salesmen out there never want you to know about. Do not throw away those fallen autumn pine needles and that dark, smelly kitchen waste, my friends. That is exactly the biological heater that the freezing soil is desperately screaming for. Today I will teach you how to craft a natural thermal blanket. It is the perfect combination of dark, colored materials and a porous air layer. Go gather your old corn cobs, used coffee grounds, leftover tea leaves, and some dark, aged compost. These dark materials will act as microscopic solar panels on the surface of your garden. They absorb maximum thermal radiation from the gentle spring sun. Meanwhile, the hollow structure of those dry pine needles and tiny twigs acts as a thick, insulating life jacket. As they trap the warmth generated during the day and block the cruel night frost from stealing that precious heat away. The earth is warmed up slowly, steadily, and most importantly, it never suffocates. As the natural temperature rises, the magical network of life awakens. The aerobic bacteria, those wonderful little creatures that need oxygen, begin to break down the organic matter. This very decomposition process releases biological heat, creating an endless circulating furnace right beneath your feet. The earthworms sense this comforting warmth. They start pushing their way up to plow through the compacted winter soil. Doing the hard labor completely for free, here's exactly how you tuck your soil into bed. Spread a thin layer of those dark materials right on top of the cold dirt. Then gently cover it with a fluffy layer of pine needles and dry leaves. Do not compress it down. Let the soil breathe the fresh air. While your neighbors are still struggling with cold compacted dirt and wasting money buying rolls of ugly black plastic, your garden is already breathing heavily. It is warm and absolutely ready to incubate new life. This is the ultimate declaration of Grandpa Sasa. Give back to nature what rightfully belongs to nature. Toxic chemicals and industrial plastics have absolutely no place in this garden. If you have ever wasted your hard-earned money on those useless black tarps, go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe to Grandpa Sasa's Sub-Zero right now, and leave a comment down below telling me what you are going to plant first this year. Do not go anywhere, because in the next video I will show you a secret, dark brown, dirty water from your kitchen that can literally save your young seedlings from a deadly late frost shock. See you in the garden.